Hey, it's Morton in the Morning. On the set with us, Bryce Vine. Thanks for coming by.
Hey.
What's up?
What's
we
going
should get
on?
our man D-Rock to come on in. D-Rock's a producer on the show, and he always has funny stuff to say.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
He seems like he
No, come on
did
in,
just
man. We'd
now,
like-
a second ago. He was like, there go my Jordans.
D-Rock's got, how many shoes do you have in your collection?
Okay, it's kind of embarrassing, but close to maybe like 1,000 pair.
Yep.
That's
He just got called out by his girl on Steve
That's
Harvey
so
show.
many more than I thought you were going to say. Good Lord.
Yeah, we forced him to take a picture of his storage once to show us how many pairs of shoes are in there.
Yeah, it's
Have
bad
you
because
worn them all?
no, I haven't. Like I've probably worn maybe 10% of it.
What do you like shape it in like an outline of like Michael Jackson or something? It's like a mural
Every on
somehow.
the shelf, it's like in a number 23 somehow.
yeah,
Hilarious.
exactly.
No, the only thing I do is like color code it, but that's
Oh, that's kind of cool though.
Yeah.
God, it seems like something that would be fun to like shoot in front of.
totally. The only thing I hate is that when I post about it and talk about it, like I'm embarrassed. My mom is on there like commenting or like DMing me like, "Yo, this is ridiculous, dude."
His girl took him all the way to Steve Harvey's show, and in the middle of it, she got up and goes, "Hey, Steve." You know, they do the question and answer. "Hey, Steve, how come my man has so many shoes, but I don't have a ring?"
I had no idea this was happening, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Straight
really?
She still
And
doesn't
what did
have a
you
ring.
do? What did you say?
I had to just come clean and just say, look, I'm in, like, I gave him a generic, like, yo, I'm in radio. We do a lot of appearances. So we have to, dress nice.
Hold on.
You should have been like, Steve, does this sound like a woman who thinks she should be a wife?
Bryce, let's talk about your music, man.
Let's
Love it.
do it,
We were
sure.
listening to Drew Barrymore today. It's a new single. Congrats on that. That's
Thank you.
cool.
Appreciate it.
We can't decide. We're going to ask you straight up. Can't decide. Is this, Adina said, you go ahead. I won't put it in your words. Here's what you said. You said the song is either it's a cute song, fun, upbeat song, or there's a little, she's like, I think there's a little bit of shade thrown at.
I was watching the music video and I was like, is there some shade being thrown at like some celebrities who've come up with making sex videos, or you know what I mean?
How so?
That's what I
see
said.
it. I see it. I'm referring to like Kim Kardashian coming
Oh, you
up.
mean because some of it is like done through a video camera?
Right, because I was like, oh, this girl,
Oh.
and you kind of take her under your wing, and
Well-
you're gonna make her a star but no one knows it yet.
That's an interesting perspective, but you're wrong. How dare you? No, the point of the song is definitely different from the video.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The video was, it was kind of like we set up this world where I basically created my perfect girl, and she just is figuring things out as I show her. Like when we do tennis, she doesn't know to swing the racket, and I'm just like, what? It's like trying to, like, in a bad way of saying it, but like when you are training a dog or something like that, you know what I mean? But like we wanted to just do something that was a little quirky, and at the end of the video we were gonna have it be very obvious that she was like a robot.
Yeah.
And then I just didn't think it needed that. I was like, for that reason too, so
Yeah.
that you could kind of come up with your own wild
I was like,
accusations
ooh, there's shade. I
about
see it.
what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm throwing shade at Kim.
She can find shade in a Target bag. Though. She can be like, oh, you know they want you to put this over your head. You know
Yeah.
what's up. I want to say something pretty cool quote that I saw you, and I'm going to probably have it out of context, but I thought this was really cool. Talk about in your bio, we're reading about you riding down the freeway in L.A., and you're a kid who didn't have much in New York, Brooklyn specifically, right? And you hear Tupac come on the radio. Was it "How Do You Want It"? Is that the song? I think it was.
So that was in L.A. though.
That
was
right,
like
but
once my family had moved to L.A.
Right.
that I heard. It was like 1994, I guess, when I heard "How Do You Want It," and I was like, "This is the coolest song on the planet. This is the coolest song I've ever heard." I just wanted more songs like that, and it's still
Yeah.
one of my favorite songs.
That's good because you said something related to that, and I think it's so true. And I haven't been able to put my finger on it. You said it seems like there's not a lot of emotion in music right now, and I was just thinking lately too. Like I hear so much music, and you don't want to say it's superficial, but it just seems like there's something missing that you can't quite put your finger on, and I think that's it.
I think you nailed it. Yeah, it feels like I'm a music lover. I think we all are here. It's what we do, but yeah, I get it's like you need that food. You need to feel like you're like ingesting new and exciting material and music, and I haven't felt that way in a minute. Like the only people that really make me feel that way, where I'm still excited to see what they're gonna put out, is like Post Malone, because he just makes good songs. Like you don't have to be this outrageous artist or whatever. You don't have to be the next Michael Jackson or whatever, but like just make good music, like songs that feel like they were written by you. You know, it's not that, but like I don't know what I Am the Walrus is about, but I know the Beatles wrote it, or Ringo did, whatever. But you know, and I just feel like that's what's missing. Like I hear songs by some of these pop artists, and I just feel like they don't really care either what the song's about. It's just, is this a hit or not? And I've never thought of it like that. I just write songs because I like music and I want to make good music.
Then I'm going to guess that you probably never feel like a song is all the way done, or
Never.
can you walk away from something and go, oh, it's good?
Never. The only reason I do is because I have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you go back and go, man, if I could have just...
No, I usually get it to the place where I want it to be by the time I'm done with it. Like, I knew Drew Barrymore was ready to go when it was ready to go, and there's a couple songs that I have that are almost ready to go, you know? And I just like, I like getting pieces of things each. Like, my writing process is I'll be in the car on tour, and I'll be in the backseat with my headphones on, and I'll get like 4 lines of a song I've been working on, and then I move on to another one, and I get 4 lines of that song. Because then it always feels fresh, and I know that line is right because I didn't spend so much time on it that I was just trying to get a song done. You know what I mean? You
can fry your brain, because it's the same as saying the same word over and over again. If you say the same word 50 times, it's not that word anymore.
Right.
It starts changing, and you can't get back to the original genesis. I imagine music could be even more that way.
Yeah, especially when you're singing every night.
Oh, yeah.
You know, on everything. Like, Drew Barrymore had to be a song that I wouldn't get super sick of, especially now when it's playing on radio. You know what I mean? And like, that's I feel like that's just how songs should be. Like, you should just love it, and yeah, you get tired of playing it, but you know that you did a good job. And I don't know, it's like, it doesn't seem that difficult to me.
Yeah.
But because I grew up writing, I never knew that you could be an artist or considered an artist and not write your own stuff. That was never a thing.
I agreed with that too. When I found out that they were like, song written by so and so, I'm like, what do you mean written by? Oh, someone else wrote it? Well, then how can you feel it when you sing it? It's weird, right? You can, but it's not the same.
Yeah, you can. I mean, let's be honest. Like, Michael Jackson didn't write every lyric of, you know, Thriller, and he didn't write, and, you know, there was 4 members of the Beatles. It's not like, I mean, did James Brown write all his stuff? Does anyone know? Really? Doesn't matter?
Right.
No, because he brought a different element to it. Like, his artistry was the element that he brought to it. But I don't get that from a lot of artists these days. It's like someone else puts in the work to make it a decent song, and then they just sing it.
Yep.
And that's it. And that's why you don't get that emotional connection to anything. And that's why they keep having to make new hits all the time, because nothing lasts long enough. It's like a average lunch, you know? It's like, cool, yeah, that was fine. What am I having for dinner?
It's forgettable.
Yeah, it's totally forgettable.
I understand. I feel like that too. I feel like there's not enough pain put through the music. Like, even Sinatra, who's singing Fly Me to the Moon, there's still some kind of pain somewhere on some subconscious level you're getting, going, wow, man, something's boiling here. And you hear it.
Yeah, you miss that, like, that third dimension a little bit in a lot of the people, but
I agree that.
It's easy to say.
You sound very passionate about your craft. Now, I have to ask you, with all of that, how many records have you written, recorded, and deleted?
None. No. But you look at my discography or whatever, I've only ever put out, maybe, under Bryce Vine especially, I've only put out 12 songs. Mm-hmm. I'm not in any rush to, I mean, I am in a rush because I want the fans that I have now to, like, be able to have new music to.
That's amazing.
To have, but like, I want the songs to be right more than I want them to be making me money. You know what I mean? Like it's like, cool. Like, I have to love the song. I have to love the song before I put it out, and that's hard to do. It's really hard to do. So I've never fully written a song that I just didn't release.
Got it.
Yeah. There's pieces of songs and stuff like that I have that I just never figured out what to do with. And funny enough, Drew Barrymore is actually one of those. It was patchwork. Drew Barrymore, I made the beat and I wrote all the verses before I had a hook for it. And then I went back and listened to old beats from a couple years ago and found this hook that Julia Michaels has helped me write, actually. And it was the Drew Barrymore concept. And I just was like, this actually kind of works exactly with what I'm trying to say in this song. Because the whole concept of the song is trying to declare your appreciation and love for somebody, not based on a physical level.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that was harder to do than I thought. So I could not figure out what the hook should be or what the, where it all comes to fruition. And then that just kind of worked.
That's cool because I just look at, some artists, their creative processes. Like you, for instance, you'll write something, then you'll step away from it. Get a vibe, probably get some inspiration, come back, finish that song, right? And then there are some artists that, like I've seen like Raphael Saadiq, like trash an entire album.
Really?
And then start all over again.
Really?
So it's
I mean, those are intense people, but there's like a misery to that kind of artistry. Like you have to be miserable at some point to be an artist, obviously, but like,
to be fair,
Kafka is a good example, right? Like he was a writer who he destroyed most of his work, and the work that is left is hailed as some of the best writing of all time.
Right.
He didn't care. You know what I mean? Like he thought it was garbage, so he got rid of it. It's so crazy. It's like it really has to matter to you first.
Yeah. That's interesting. You have that little bit of edge to you that I don't think that a lot of people have. Do you reflect back on growing up in New York more, or do you feel more LA?
Los Angeles for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I was so young when I lived in New York, but being raised by New Yorkers, they don't fill your head with a bunch of BS. My mom and dad are very practical, intelligent people, and they raised me to be the same. They never forced religion on me, and they never forced politics on me. I got a lot of chance to figure things out myself, and as an only child, I kind of had to do that too.
Do you make mistakes?
Constantly.
What do you think's one that resonates with you most? When you look back, oh man,
I wish it hadn't taken me this long to mature to the point where now this is happening. I mean,
take
it's
yourself
fine.
seriously.
Yeah. My priorities changed in maybe like a year and a half ago. I was just like, I want to do this, and I'm not acting like it really.
Yeah.
I started I made myself become an avid reader, and I would go to the gym every day, go to the sauna after, read for 20 minutes, go to the studio, and then fail at writing every single day for like a couple months, and then all of a sudden the wheel started spinning, and and then once that started happening, and I really felt I've failed so many times, like in the past. Just I've been offered deals and that then got turned down. I've like met with many labels before I signed with Warner, and it always seemed like there was just like an edge of bad luck to like what I was trying to do, which kind of stayed with me for a while. And then once I started not really caring about that and just doing it anyway, all of a sudden
It's like relationships, like everyone. Like when you don't really want it, it just comes together, and you can't
Isn't
tell
that
that to
funny?
someone who's trying to make it happen.
Isn't that so funny?
Yeah. You know what's funny is I was talking about someone like this. I said, failing in life is really analogous to a video game. Ask anyone, like, well, how long did it take you to get good at that video game? Oh, man, I had to play it to get to this level and this level. Life's really the same thing. You got to keep going to that level to knock that door down, to get to the next ladder.
There's a lot of game overs.
There's a lot of game overs.
Yeah.
And the good thing is you get to keep going until you're gone. So that's good.
It's true.
That's cool. Well, the singles, Drew Barrymore, we're happy to have you come by. Hey, are
Thanks,
you shy?
man. In what regard? It
I don't
depends.
know. When I see you talk and you're talking about very personal things, I can see you like going into yourself, thinking a little bit. Like I'm always interested about. Some people can be shy and be very extroverted, where they like to be in front of an audience or whatever. But it
I'm
seems
definitely
like
not shy in front of a crowd.
right.
That's for sure. Yeah,
are you shy in like a one-on-one, or do you think that's a part of you? It seems like there's a little bit of shyness with you.
No, I guess I just want to make myself clear, so I always like look. I just have to take a moment.
Yeah.
I have such ADD that to even form the sentence with the words that I intend takes a moment.
Yeah.
Which is what reading helps actually, because they're there immediately instead of trying to figure out what I'm saying.
Good.
Yeah. But no, I don't think I'm shy. I like people. I always have. My parents raised me that way. My dad owns a little restaurant in like a predominantly black neighborhood east of the 10 that was a ghetto in the 90s, and he's like helped restore the neighborhood, and he
that's cool.
brings people and makes them feel like they're part of the family, and he treats people that way. I just was raised by him, and then my mom would literally let any of my best friends come over at any time of the day or night ever. It was always a welcome house for my friends, and she always she just made, so that's who I was raised by. You know, it's just, I really got to give them more credit actually, because a lot of people just, it's a lot easier to not have your son's friends running around the house being annoying.
Especially when you're running your own business.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're a single mom, you know, like, I mean, my dad was in the picture, of course, but like, she never remarried.
Yeah.
You know, so it was like, yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot to handle and my best friends lived with me. My two best friends who were twin brothers, because their mom developed schizophrenia. She took them in.
Wow.
And now one of them, if you, I don't know if you've heard of this, but it's called the Barn Sanctuary. And my best friend, since I was 14 years old, once his grandparents died, they had a family-owned farm in Michigan that he now has as a nonprofit for they rescue abused barn animals and give them like a homeland, shelter, and whatever, and raise money that way. And he's gone viral like in the last couple months, and Ellen DeGeneres had him on her show, and this is my very best friend. So it's super cool that now like we even get to be on the same
like similar
wavelength.
path.
We went to our 10-year high school reunion right after he went viral and I had just gotten signed.
Yeah.
Never felt cooler in my life. Never felt cooler in my life.
Nice. Success. That's it. Bryce, thanks for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate
man.
it.
You
The
guys
single
are
is
super easy to talk to.
Oh, good. I'm glad. The single is Drew Barrymore. Listen to it, stream it, listen to it here. We love having you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Anytime. Seriously.